Thank you for staying with KHTS 1220 AM. That's the station you're listening to, which has won Brien Johnson so many awards. We won the best radio station community award in the state of California. That's Brien Johnson. The show, if you're listening for the first time, is called Ask Brien, BRIEN.com. I'm here with the fabulous Lindsay McCoy, Brien Johnson. And if you're in business or this is the first time you're listening to the show and you own a business or you're starting a lemonade stand, it's a great show. Do you know why? Because we have great guests. And I'm not kidding you guys. We've had haven't we, Lindsay, really?
Absolutely. Everyone has been wonderful.
Yeah. They
Full
really
of information.
Yes. And you can go back, you can go on to hometownstation.com and pull up our podcast because, truthfully, you're going to learn a lot. Seriously.
Well, actually, we're creating an educational system for people to learn, so they should keep on going back to those podcasts because it really has informative information, and we're getting some of the top people in the country, and these people are being paid $25,000, $30,000 just to speak. So when you have an opportunity, and not only that, but I encourage people to call into the show and ask questions.
Yeah, no kidding, and you're not exaggerating when they get paid $15,000 to $25,000, and we have another guest today.
Not as much as you do, Coach, though.
Not as much as I do, but I'm Coach Ron Tunick. I'm your guest. I'm a business coach. Brien Johnson is a very famous attorney in Los Angeles. And Lindsay McCoy is one of the most successful realtors. And I didn't say realtors, right?
Correct.
So, all right. So if you want to call in, you know the number. 298-5487, 298-5487. Aaron is our wonderful producer. He's a fine young man. He will answer the show, 298-54. If you have 298-5487. All right, so you guys just got back from a business trip to Poland, and I'm so curious about other countries, especially European countries. So this is a country...
Well, they don't take the euro over there.
And Poland doesn't?
They're part of the European Union, but they do not accept the euro.
No kidding.
That is correct.
So
they take the zloty, ZHLOTY. Got any zlotys for me?
Did you bring any home?
No, but they're like $4 to $1.
Oh my God!
So, I live like a king over there.
Yeah. So you had a great meal. Was that you and Lindsay in the meal, or just you?
Well, I had a meal. Lindsay had a meal. Yeah, it's $22
for both of you.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, for a fabulous steak dinner. Yeah, that same dinner here, I guarantee you $100 minimum. $100.
Well, I was saving the time to people to take me out until I came back, so you could take me out.
I'd love to take you out. So let me just ask a number of questions. Lindsay, you first. So you're flying home, 14-hour flight. Give me the one takeaway. Do they do business any differently than we do, you think?
I think that they do business pretty similar with different rules than we do here in America.
Different rules?
Yeah, different rules. They're different mentality, culture. So,
okay.
But they do have Krakow, which is pretty
Krakow,
which is the old capital of Poland.
Is the countryside beautiful?
It is absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful country. I suggest going there.
And Warsaw's like
a
popular destination, kind of place people like to go.
Oh yeah.
The airport was busy.
Not so much. Actually, we were surprised to learn that we didn't need to go through customs to get into their country. So.
No kidding.
But I think the Switzerland layover.
And I don't think you need to be there 3 hours ahead.
Wow.
But it's an up-and-coming place. There's lots of tech inspired in Krakow, which is the first capital of Poland, and then the new capital is Warsaw now. So it's very modern. And
why don't you talk about Krakow, because that was amazing.
Oh, well, it was amazing. We did a nice tour over there, a full-day tour on our off day, and visited Auschwitz, which was a pretty heavy experience. And also we got to tour the most beautiful place in Krakow. The whole little town, it was just like an island of 11th century buildings and just a lot of
I want to keep the
culture.
show upbeat and positive, so I don't really want to get into Auschwitz.
Right.
But you guys went to a shopping mall. So did the shopping mall on the inside look...
You're talking about Warsaw.
Warsaw.
Yeah. Oh, Warsaw.
Did the shopping mall on the inside look any different than our shopping malls? Could you tell if a helicopter put you down in the middle of the mall, would you know where you were?
Well, except the names would be different.
Yeah,
No,
not
Pulaski's
really.
instead of,
yeah, except for the language. and the people.
Were the store well merchandised? I mean,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
no,
didn't shop a lot.
they passed the stage economically in that front.
All right. Back to you, Brien Johnson. You built this incredible website called AskBrien.com.
Well, I didn't build it. We built it.
We built it. All right. Tell me about AskBrien.com. What is the site about? What are you trying to accomplish with Ask Brien? BRIEN.com.
We're trying to provide a business resource for people that have business problems. So hopefully they'll come there and they'll have a business question. They can ask the question. They can find out if somebody's already answered that question. That's one way. We have ebooks to try to help them out there. We have videos that are coming along where we'll be able to, you can download a video to learn something. Basically, we want you to learn about any business problem you have to try to help you solve your business problem. Question and answers are our main focus. We have a bunch of experts that we've entered into agreements with that are helping us out, and that's a main factor, most important part of the site. However, we want to be your business resource. We want to provide business resolutions for anyone that has a business problem, and it doesn't have to be a startup. It could be someone that's been in business for 20 years, or it could be a startup. It could be anywhere along the range. We're not focused solely on startups, although there are many people that do come there for that.
But people that come to the site, and the site's becoming more and more popular every week, people who would be, how would I want to say this, maybe embarrassed to ask their buddy a question or their wife a question, maybe an intimate question about business, they could go to AskBrien.com.
Well, technically, nobody would know that they asked the question. That's the point. The point is, even if you could select whatever username you want, so I could be John Doe, and that would be my username. And if I start asking questions, about merchant account, hey, I want to start a merchant account company, I don't want Coach to know. Oh, shit.
Yeah, interesting. You're listening to Ask Brien on a fabulous award-winning radio station called KHTS 1220 AM. Also, maybe the best, and I'm not kidding when I say this, radio app in the country. Go to the App Store and download KHTS 1220 AM. And, of course, Hometown Station. You're listening. Thousands of people are listening on hometownstation.com. All right, Lindsay McCoy, what is the most frequently asked question on AskBrien.com? What question comes up more? Is it about money?
I would say that a lot of the questions, the most frequent questions, are marketing and traffic, SEO, just strategic marketing. That's a big category.
And not legal? You're an attorney. You don't get legal questions?
We're not focused as being a legal site.
Oh, I would ask legal questions.
That's only because you know me.
Yeah, no kidding. What about money questions? On AskBrien, BRIEN.com, do you get money questions? Like, where's a good place if you're starting a business, you're in business 1 year, can you borrow money today, Brien, at a bank? Will a bank still loan you money?
Well, you can always borrow money. The question is what interest rate. I mean, I get offers all the time, and in the mail from LendingTree.com and all these other companies out there, and they're always offering me things like, hey, borrow $10,000, borrow $25,000, borrow $50,000. So there are plenty of companies out there to borrow money.
But at what rate? Yeah.
At what rate? 982% interest rate. That's a little rich for my blood. Maybe not for you. But
well, I do business coaching every day. I'm your host, Coach Ron Tunick. Here's the question I get asked almost every day: do I buy? Do I lease?
Well, then I have to ask you that question: do I buy or do I lease?
Well, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. I'm asking you. It depends.
Buy or lease what?
Exactly. So it starts with what are you buying or what are you leasing? What is going to be?
I would be buying real estate from this young woman over here.
Exactly.
Because she really knows
real estate is a safe bet.
And she knows how to make money off of it. And she'll help you buy an apartment complex. So
absolutely.
I would be buying from her.
Oh, my God. I wish it's too late now, but I wish I would have got into real estate years ago and become the apartment. I mean, if you own an apartment house today, it's got to be a wonderful investment, right, Lindsay?
Absolutely. It's nice to have if you have a good management and you have all your ducks in order and you have liquidity and you buy it at the right time of the market and you negotiate a good deal. It's definitely a good investment.
You're a millennial, and I know a lot of millennials. They're telling me they're renting. They don't want to buy, which is interesting.
Yeah,
people
want to save.
Right. They want to save, but they want the freedom to come in.
And they have student debt too.
Yeah. But renting, like I just got back from Las Vegas. So even the rents there, which have been low for years and years and years, now they're climbing up, Rents in LA are crazy.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah. The market is really it's kind of a dry market right now. There's not a lot of inventory in LA specifically, so I do think that's why the rental market is going up.
What's that a sign of? When inventory short, which means sellers aren't selling, is that a good thing or a bad thing? What does that say about our economy?
There's so many things that it could be.
Great answer.
The qualifying of mortgages have dropped. It's a lot harder to get a mortgage now. So that's probably one of the main contributing factors why people are renting. Also, usually when interest rates go up, housing values go down. But I think that because there's such a dry market right now, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Maybe if they lower it a little bit more.
It's not a bad thing, though, that people really have to qualify. I mean, what caused the crash in 2008 was a lot of
unstated docs and low FICO scores.
Yep. Sign here and you've got a loan.
Short-term loans.
Yeah. So we've reached a balance now where the banks have decided that people really have to qualify. That's not a bad thing at all.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great thing.
But prices keep going up.
Well, there are a lot of foreigners.
So does population growth.
Exactly. There are a lot of foreigners and investors out there, and they all see that the market's always, over time, going up. Maybe there are dips, but over time, if you take a 20 or 30-year period, since at least the last 100 years, the market has always gone over that 20 to 30-year period. It will go up and down. So therefore, people say, hey, where else can you find something where over time it will go up?
It's interesting. Why do the foreigners come here, Brien? Because it's a safe, right? We live by laws, not by men. And it's a safe place to invest. Am I right, guys?
Well, we have a rule of law here, too. The reality is when you go to other countries, I don't want to antagonize any country that exists out there, but many, many countries that don't have the rule of law, so judges can get paid off, people get paid off in certain countries around the world, and so therefore there is no safety. So where would you want to invest? You want to invest in some place where you know that the rules are not going to be changed on you, and you know that your investment is going to be protected. On top of that, you have a great America has a great foreign military, and people aren't going to be invading the United States, but other countries, people could even invade those countries. So there's a lot of factors, a lot of reasons why America is great. I mean, and it's going to get greater, but America is great. And in terms of investment for real estate, I truly believe this is probably one of the top markets.
Our show is called Ask Brien on an award-winning radio station called KHTS 1220 AM. Ask Brien, BRIEN.com is a fabulous site. It's getting improved every week and more popular every single week because we know you're going there and you're asking the questions that you may be too embarrassed to ask your buddies on the golf course, and you're not comfortable asking your wife because you know what? Maybe she doesn't have the answer to.
Or maybe you don't want your wife to know yet.
Yeah, maybe that's the truth.
I drained the bank account. Oh.
So coming up here after our break, we have this pretty famous guy, Jay Berkowitz.
Jay Berkowitz, he's the author of 10 Golden Rules. He also has a website, www.tengoldenrules.com. And
I believe it's 10. It's 10, the number 10. It's 10goldenrules.com.
Our producer's checking it right now. But here, it'll be interesting to see if one of his rules, and Lindsay, I know what I'm going to say now really means a lot to you because you actually practice it. You're very good at building relationships. And in today, building a relationship could actually last you not only a lifetime, but make you a tremendous profit. So building a relationship takes patience and time, doesn't it?
It truly does. And people want to have that reliability. So when you build these relationships, that's why it's important to always be trustworthy and, honest and have integrity and work hard. Nothing happens overnight.
So the 10 Golden Rules is TEN.
Yeah. Well, the website is 10. I'm on it, right? Oh, actually, it is. You guys are right.
Yeah, 10 Golden Rules.
Challenge Ask Brien.
So when I was
in front of my face.
When I was in business school at the turn of the century, they didn't, the word.
You rode your horse to school, right?
Yeah. with the buggy whip. They did not talk about.
She had the whip.
They did not talk about the word relationship. Things like trust, relationship. Those things weren't discussed. It was always the hard numbers, you know. And today, our society is so different that if you understand that each relationship is like a 10-pound golden bar that you have buried somewhere in your backyard.
I told you not to tell anyone. That's why.
The show's
Now
called
the IRS may call me.
The show's called Ask Brien, Brien, and I'm here with Brien Johnson, the fabulous Lindsay McCoy. So, in building a relationship, you've got to take the long picture, Lindsay, right?
Right. Well, you know, building relationships in every business that I know, especially in real estate, the best lead customer that I can get is a referral. If I get a referral, that means that the person, my client, was satisfied with my services and would refer me to a friend. So that's proof that I'm doing my job well. So there's it's important to create good relationships, and you never know, it can just domino effect when you make good relationships. Communication is a very big item. I think people want to have a sense of personable experience, because we're so divided now with technology. So we have to figure out how to be creative and keep those relationships going and happy.
Well, you know what? That's a very good question you asked. So, in the internet age, how do you create that relationship? Because nowadays, every time I go into a restaurant, people are on their telephones, they're on their iPads, they're on the laptops. People aren't looking at each other.
Exactly. That's
So
exactly.
how do you create that relationship?
It's a very tough thing. You have to make time at the end of the workday to go out and have dinners and socialize and go to events, charities. Anything that you can be involved in the community are great ways to connect with clients and people.
One of the things in fact, I got interviewed today on a radio station, and it was a lady interviewing me, and she asked me almost the same question that I'm asking you. And I said, you've got to be able to make an investment. You've got to be able to put the technology aside and have really interesting conversations. You know, and I said to her, most people are losing the ability to be interesting. Think about that. You're on your technology all day long, and how are you learning how to communicate? How are you learning how to be charming? You're very charming, Lindsay. I'm not saying that, but you are. You're very charming. And if I just met you in 5 minutes with your smile and your ability, I would like you. And and I said to her, she asked me, said, what's the number one thing that you would say to people? I said, work on your likability factor. You do business with people you like. It's that simple.
Right.
You employ people you like, you promote people you like, and you do business with people you like. And it has nothing to do with numbers, has nothing to do with technology. And this is not talked about in school, you know, and this is the part, and I don't want to get on a tangent, but this is the part in business school that's upsetting to me, because going to school is not the real world. You know, and I've said it, I know I'm going to tick people off, but you're almost better to hang with you for 4 years, or Brien Johnson. You would learn more, and I've said this to my own kids and my grandkids, you'll learn more hanging with you or Brien than you would going to school. And I know my wife looks at me, she says, shut up, don't say that ever again. You know, so mentoring, mentorship, apprenticeship, all of this you learn in the foxhole of life, in the foxhole of the business life. Brien, do you agree with that, Brien?
I totally agree. I mean, practical experience has a lot more value than academic. Academic gives you the tools. Academic will give you some basis. The reality is you can find these things out on your own, by reading books, et cetera, But you know what? Being outside, Lindsay going out and meeting people on a relationship basis, or asking questions, or speaking to people, or myself, we're dealing with real life situations.
You're likable. Lindsay's likable. We're going to come back. We're going to take a quick break. Hopefully Jay will call in. We'll continue the conversation on the show called Ask Brien, Brien.com.